Good morning, Facebook. Grace and peace to you all. Today, don't do anything for God. Let me explain. Christianity at the core is not a performance-based religion. It's a self-sacrificial love and life transformation because of that love. He takes out the heart of stone and gives you a heart of flesh. He changes you from the inside out. So your want-tos change. I think what happens in church so often is we get busy trying to do for God before we even know who we really are, right? Resting in the finished work of Christ, understanding the unconditional love that's coming our way that sets us free from the bondage of self so we're able to live in a new way. It's the attributes of being in Christ. The Beatitudes are what comes out of us because we know who we are. And we've been changed at the core, at the soul, at the heart. We've been changed. So it's no longer centered in self. It's centered in Him. And that's where the rest comes in. Rather than us trying to do for God, we're actually changed and we become anew in Christ. And we're able to reflect that in our daily lives. We don't have to try and love, we become love. We don't have to try and attain peace, we carry peace. We don't have to try and be joyful, we become joyful because we've been changed at the core. And so that's where the struggle comes in. It's just the only thing, the one who tries to hold on to his life, that life centered in self, will lose it. But the one who lays down his life, that life centered in self, and now your life is centered in Him, will find it. That's all it is. To know the love of Christ which surpasses knowledge is to be filled with all the fullness of God. We've been changed at the core. For those who are led by the Spirit of God are children of God. You can rest as a child. You don't have to get busy trying to do for God. We've been changed at the core, so guess what happens? It becomes part of our nature when we know who we are. We're not trying to strive to do for God. We've been changed. It's no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me, right? So now I don't have to do. That, when you see it, you'll never burn out as a Christian. Really, if you are in Christ, you won't burn out. If you're trying to do it in the flesh, you will. Because I only speak of what I know, because when I came in, that's what I was doing. I was trying to do for God. I never got off the throne of my own heart. So I'm trying to do instead of knowing really who I am. Who I am in Christ, that I've been totally changed at the core. My want-tos have changed. My desires have changed because Christ lives in me. And I've been set free from the bondage of self, so I'm able to walk in a new way. So if you're still struggling, marinate in God's love for you. Stay in the end of Romans 8. Understand the depths and the height and the breadth of God's love for you, and that nothing can separate you from that love. And in doing so, we can walk in freedom. We can walk in the fruit of the Spirit. We become completely new in Christ. Don't do anything for God today. Just marinate in His love and allow that love to reflect out of your life when you get it. God bless y'all.